What I need to do is refit my garage with an IKEA kitchen. Yes. I hear all the best streamers are doing that these days. And then I would be organized. It won't make any difference. You can pretend for a while. Yeah. I just do, like, I want to try all the things, right? So it definitely does not help. Right? It's like, yeah, let's melt HDPE. Yeah, let's turn stuff. Yeah, let's resin pour. Yeah, let's dry greenwood. Let's have all the clamps. Sure, we'll build cabinets. We'll make tables. Fabric? Fuck yeah. Oh, wait a minute. We got an airbrush. Scroll saw. Let's do it. You didn't want to mention it, but it almost looks like you put all the stuff back in that you cleared out to install the cabinets. Ugh. And then the other like issue that I encounter is that I'm never just focused like I don't know. I do like to believe like maybe if I focused on just one thing for like 6 months and did only that thing, right? And just like said F everything else. But no, I gotta go like, oh, I gotta make a sign. So I need this, 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 and this. And then everything's out for that. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now I gotta go turn some crochet hooks. Oh, wait a minute. The gardening stuff needs to get done. And then we need to pull all the gardening crap out. Yeah, the plan is that it would go back in a better way. I mean, just like looking at my bench alone, it's like, okay, obviously I have all this airbrushing stuff out, right? I had the heat gun here because I had to use it to remove stickers from the scroll sawing we did last night. I have a bunch of random drill bits in trays. You know, you guys want to, here we go, just off to the side a little bit, right? Here we go. This is where everything gets hidden off camera. We have like 3 pencils, we have box of assorted screws, some picture hangers that I might have used, right? But then didn't, so these really need to go back in the area up here somewhere. There's like theoretically a thing that says picture hanging. Oh, there we go. See, it exists. I'll prove it. Picture hanging. See, it exists. So those 2 things have to go back there, right? You have wood glue, accelerator, 2 mallets, because why not, right? Here we go. I was stripping electrical wire. Why isn't this put back away? It's just endless. Just freaking endless. It's like I need to take the 2 hours after every project to clean and put everything back where it goes, but we don't do that, right? We definitively don't do that. So that is why whenever something is missing, I usually start cleaning, because not only does it help find it, but it also makes me do something that I don't otherwise normally do. Is the airbrush inside? I think the airbrush is inside, which means I need to go inside and get the airbrush. Oh, you you watched the, yeah. I'm just gonna let it go. I don't need to go back and watch Freaky be embarrassed. No one used moments or he knew. I don't know what those are. All right, I'm gonna run inside really quick. I'm gonna freeze the camera. I have to go grab an airbrush. BRB. Oh, little used sound commands on Freaky Stream. Huh. Auto muted by the algorithm. I've noticed where when that happens is it's often, I don't know about often, the couple of VODs, I'm not like a common VOD watcher, but like the couple of VODs I've seen where they just mute that section instead of the whole thing. That's way too much. Way too much. I turned this down earlier. All right, that should be good. Yeah, it's only that section. Okay. That'll be good. Let's see, we're gonna do, normally this is in black, but I think we're gonna do them in white because we're gonna do it on a darker background. This is 120. I don't think we need anything that harsh. I think we're just knocking everything down with 400 a little to give it a nice smooth top. And then we're gonna paint these white. You say, Shan, aren't they already painted white? It's like, yeah, we're just gonna make sure they're uniformly white. So we're gonna paint white paint on white paint. That's gonna be fun and exciting. I think this is why people expect that machines make everything. Because who would want to do this by hand? Masochists. That's who. Masochists like us. We have to mix up some more white here. Maybe it's enough. Well, if it's not enough, we definitely got to mix it up. So, because that is the end of that bottle. All right. It's officially 3:34. And we're going to start painting. You know, these aren't sticky anymore, so maybe I will transfer them to blue tape because I can't do the thing where I was able to like hang it off my fingers very well. Or I should say, I can't do it the same. and like picking it up and whatnot. I seriously lose everything when I... Or we're already dry tipping? Sweet. Hey, River Styx. Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. The open bag of Q-tip type things, which is usually sitting... Oh, it still is. It's just right under this. I think the day is going well. It's a little later than I would hope before doing all this, but that's about the only problem that I have. Gosh. It's gonna need more. Means they're all probably gonna need 2 coats. Walk the kiddos to the park. I'm sure that'll be fun. It's kind of an overcast day here, but okay. I will say one thing that the hand priming did better was get in these little crevices. And we're gonna end up doing a lot of white. Rattle canning into small crevices is not a strength that rattle cans have. We're just working on some airbrushing on a sign for our shop for tomorrow. This is what the wife wanted me to focus on. Yeah, I think it's important, I guess. Right? Making sure people know who you are. She saw a scroll sod sign at one of the markets we went to. She's like, you could make one of those. I was like, I'm surprised to hear those words come out of your mouth. I feel like it's always the thing that I say when she's like, we should buy this. I'm like, I could make that. So it's definitely a surprise. Cloudy, 81 with no wind. That is a nice day. It is about 68, I'm gonna say here, maybe 70. Cloudy, but I guess also no wind, so just a bit colder. Than you're experiencing at the moment. Oh, that was a good clean. Doing the color will be a lot more fun because, I don't know, hides a lot more. And I'll be honest, letters are the suck. There's so many sides and crevices. Necessary evil, though. That's a piece that needs to be cut. Some fuzzies on that one. What we're gonna do for dinner tonight? Anybody have any good ideas? We had tacos for lunch. Well, Taco Bell for lunch. I guess my son had tacos. Crunchwrap Supreme here. Why am I choosing to paint these white? Spaghetti. There's an idea. The wife was supposed to marinate tofu, but I don't think she did. Unless she did, and then we'll probably have like tofu and vegetables. I don't know if that actually got done. It tastes way better if you marinate it like overnight, to the point where we don't generally eat it unless we do. Spaghetti sounds like a good backup. I just like to have something ready in case she's always like, hey, I forgot to do the meal prep thing. What do you think we should have for dinner? And if I don't have an idea, then it's like a fight. If I do have an idea, I'm a hero. I like being a hero. See, we're impatient. We don't have time for this to air dry. So, heat gun it up. And round two. Fight. So if we end up using the spaghetti tonight, River, you're my hero. All right, S. Oh, and since we were talking about it the other day, my son actually just mentioned we were in the car coming from the hardware store, and I don't even know how we got on this topic. I'm really gonna need more white. All right, I'm gonna do that. He did not see Seeing Red yet. He's like, there's a movie I've been waiting to watch, but with grandma, because during, with the social distancing and whatnot, they were doing like the Disney watch along thing. And so he's been apparently waiting to watch that one with his grandma. And now that you told me more about it, I was like, I wonder how that's going to go over. I don't know how exactly they frame it. Yeah, it was definitely a little hard last 2 years. I mean, we're all together, all doing stuff together now, but who knows if that'll need to be going back to some other way. Oh, sorry. If you can't tell, pouring this into a little bottle. Then we're going to add a thinner into this. It's got cute red pandas in it. What could possibly go wrong? Have you seen it, Owen? Just trailers? Yeah. So I haven't seen it either. But River was saying that it is a coming of age story for a young girl. About a girl who's getting her first period. Ah. So I don't remember that from the trailers at all, but I don't care. I mean, something he should know about anyway. There's such a big debate on Facebook about letting kids watch a kids movie. I remember, man. So comparing like television, like sitcom type television and cartoons and whatnot, I feel like TV used to have, I don't know, like family TV used to actually talk about hard things. Can we not turn this back on? Like used to try and hit some hard topics, right? Whether it's smoking or teen pregnancy, suicide, right? Stealing, lying. I mean, I just feel like we're more I feel like there's more willingness to address complicated topics in television programming in the 90s and before that, like maybe 70s, 80s, and 90s. So you know some may have been cringeworthy, but it at least like got it in your purview, right? As a youngster. I mean, you can say that it was up to the parents, and now it truly is, but the reality is that some parents are just not going to talk about those topics with their kids because they're complicated and they're hard and they're just kids, right? But like, I don't know, watching stuff about teen suicide and death, and especially in today's climate, thanks to US, one school shooting a week. Snake Eye? Man, I was just... Dude, Snake. I literally just went to your channel earlier this week to see if I had like accidentally unfollowed you somehow, because I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing, man?
Log from Blammo.
You'll probably stream tomorrow. That's cool. I mean, I'll be at the market tomorrow, so depending on when you stream, I may catch some of it, may not. Yeah, I understand. I understand how it goes. I wanted to make sure I wasn't like I didn't fuck something up because I haven't seen you around, so I thought it was my fault. All right. Let's see. Hopefully we hit the right consistency here. We're on this H. And now, of course, we're dry. Now we're also closed. That's good to see you. Hopefully everything's going well. Usually busy weeks come with real life issues like work or family, so, you know, hope whatever it is in the rear view or, you know, being managed. Or maybe it was a positive thing, right? Maybe you moved. Or you changed jobs. That'd be real positive for you. You messed up your back doing some volunteer work. Okay. You volunteer rock climbing? Wait. I got something funnier. Were you volunteer giving adults piggyback rides? I mean, the easiest answer is probably like volunteering for Habitat for Humanity and like lifting some shit or doing some shit you shouldn't have been. But where's the fun in that? Volunteer logging. Oh, see, that's sweet. I mean, like, the fact that that's even a thing. I never have guessed logging. Huh. Volunteer logging. And that'd be an experience. Cut down a bunch of dead trees for a children's camp. Okay. Were you like, do you have like the climbing gear and everything to do that legit? I could never do that, by the way. I can't even climb on my roof anymore. As an adult, I acquired a nice fear of heights. Just let them fall. That's cool. Man, how did I not notice some of these, like, fuzzy corners on here? And that sounds super fun, like playing with the chainsaw. Until, of course, you hurt yourself. Yell timber. Dude, just like TV. I would have done that every time, and don't even have to. Like, no one's around. I don't care. Timber! How often do I get to do this in life? Reminds me of that Mitch Hedberg joke about going and playing golf. Never got a hole in one, but I did hit a guy once. I was supposed to yell 4, but I was too busy saying, there ain't no way that's gonna hit him. Yes, I'm making a sign for the market. So this is the Thorns and Thread logo. Even though I just did a lot of airbrushing to finish up my Mario sign. Yeah, we're gonna do another one here. Yeah, our first outdoor market is tomorrow. So I'll be working on this until it's done. Unfortunately, the letters are going to work best in white. Everything else will have color, so it'll be a little less annoying. I don't know, painting white is always the worst. Not doing too bad though. We've only been painting for the last 20 minutes. So like another 30 or so. Actually, we could probably go sand and then apply stain to that board. Maybe we'll do that after hitting these with the heat gun a little. I have a feeling I still have to, or maybe I need to like come at them from the other side to get the insides of like I can see the S doesn't look very good because the priming isn't very good. Trying to rattle can prime and then stupid MDF just soaks everything up. We should go get stain applied, so that gets curing. In reality, drying, so I can get that done by end of day tonight, or end of night tonight, I should say. All right, let's go on a trip to another flat piece of wood. We just did a coat of sanding sealer on here. This is 240. Yeah, I think it's the last thing that I used to break. You know, I'll probably, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, this is 120 on here. Crud. This is 220. There we go. I thought I was sending 220 earlier. we'll just do the orbital. And then the stain, and we'll get that part knocked out for the time being. Alright, well, hopefully that sanding sealer helps make everything a little more even. Hey, no problem, man. Thanks for the lurk. Alright. Guess we should go get some gloves, else, you know, be covered in. Dang, is that? Oh yeah, I just had that heat gun on. Newsflash: heat guns are hot. Other newsflash: probably have a small burn on my arm now. I should have left that hammer over here. No, there's one right there. Probably that I previously used to close a can of something. There we go. It's weird to see the little air bubbles come up. All right. I'll be good for that side. Flip it over. I'll have to come wipe it off. 10 minutes or so. But I can already tell, like, doing that sanding sealer step is really making it go on uniform. Like, no splotchiness. At least not that I can see on the surface. I guess it's still possibly there after wiping it off. But I've done this cheap plywood before without trying to do any prep work, and whew, you get some variation. So funny. I just threw away like this can of pre-stain conditioner that I had purchased the first time I ever purchased stain, which is easily like 15 years ago. And like I used it and I was like, I don't think it did anything. So I've used it on and off throughout the years. But it's so funny, like you really have to look into like, why am I using this, right? To appreciate. And then you realize, once you know why you're doing it, you realize, oh wait, I don't need something called pre-stain conditioner. This is just a marketing ploy. But doing something to kind of fill the deeper pores in the wood that are going to absorb more is a real thing that you will benefit from. So, all right. Weird like flex. No, just stain. Well, it's definitely not going to come out this dark, but it'd be nice if it did. All right, back to painting things white. Sorry, back to painting white things white. Hopefully this is the last coat that I have to do on these. Yeah, the surface is fine. I'll just do all our fuzz checks, corner checks now. Sides though. the insides on some of these are just did not get enough primer. So all these coats are still like halfway not great on the insides. Say with me, everybody. Stupid MDF. So I don't know if I should keep attacking it from the top, or maybe I'll do a more direct focus on the airbrush. That sounds smarter. I've been doing large coverage passes. Maybe I just need to do a little more direct to get in there. Without flooding the top too much. Problem is it like dries out so quick. Hey Jack, welcome in. Back to making trouble. I did catch you for a few minutes this morning. I thought you were doing some power hammer stuff. That's super cool. I didn't get a chance to stick around and see what we were making, but I was like, damn, power hammer. Oh, it's a hydraulic press, not a power. Okay, oh, sorry. I did notice that it wasn't like continuously like chunking. Um, but I guess I didn't know that. I guess the mechanical or the force, the way that they apply force is going to be different. 100% different tools. So is a press usually used like that? I mean, I know that hydraulic presses are used for a lot of things. Like, is that a common way to, I guess, forge? Hey, Avarian, welcome in. Yeah, no, I understand. Thank you. And maybe I've just seen presses used in some other videos and incorrectly assumed they were power hammers. Did I do that T? I don't think I did that T. Presses are typically better at thicker materials and controlled movement. Okay. Good to know. I mean, I may never do it, but I always like knowing. I don't think I'll ever own the tools. Nah. Who knows? There may be a weekend excursions. And knowing is half the battle. The other half is red and blue lasers. Pew pew pew. That's right. Well, this is definitely focusing the sides is definitely helping, but damn, the sides are in need of a lot of work. Real American Hero there, Avarian. Power hammers have limited contact, so you get longer heats, but they provide far less immediate continuous pressure. What do you mean by longer heats? Is it something like losing the heat in the material with the press? Because I don't know, that doesn't seem to make sense to me. Okay, I'm not crazy. There is something outside. Every time you take the material out of the forge, right, it's a race against becoming cold. Press is continuously in contact. The metal transfers the heat out faster. Huh. So because the metal is a better conductor of heat than the air, I guess? Is that the science behind that? Cool. Which is weird because, like, I guess people who don't understand, people may not understand the drawing of heat out and just thinking that something sitting out in the air is going to lose heat faster than being in contact with something. But I can definitely see how that makes sense now that you point it out. Ugh, stupid N. Something outside. Wait a minute. Those two things are mutually exclusive. Something outside does not preclude the crazy. Oh, that you're got it. Not the science we're talking about. Got it. Power hammers continuous strikes impact energy into the material, which can make the heat last longer. Okay. I would not have thought about creating heat by striking it. But that is correct. That would... Huh. How, like, comparatively, how long are we talking about? You know, are we talking about a couple more seconds? Are we talking about, like, you know, if I can normally have it out of the, you know, out of the forge for 20 seconds? I don't know, just some numbers that, whatever those numbers usually are. More than 20 seconds, I believe. But yes, you're right, Avarian. There being something behind me is not mutually exclusive with me being crazy. Absolutely, 100% correct. Talking to the press, you could have say something. Wow, that fast. Man. That's crazy cool. Like, I love the science. I mean, like, huh. Well, you guys tell me if somebody's like gonna come up behind me. Hopefully I read chat before they kill me. Oh no, you're fine, Jack. No one else is talking. That's why the press is great for thicker materials, because they are to some degree self-heating because they have so much thermal mass. So are you spreading the heat out from the core? Like, if you're in the press, I would still assume that you're cooling the outside faster than you're cooling the inside, even if you're squishing it down. Who knows? Maybe there's some crazy thermodynamics happening that I have no idea about. Since the inside is so far from the dies, oh, they can't suck the heat out like they can with something smaller. So then the inner heat is able to transfer to the outside that's being sucked in. So you like have kind of more stored energy in the stored heat in the overall thick bar, and therefore able to work it just a little bit longer than you could something thin. But then comparatively, transferring the initial heat to that in the forge takes even longer as well. So I understand basic scientific things, you know. All right, we'll hit these. Oh, wait a minute. We should go back and wipe stain off. That's what we should do. Wipe stain off of board. And everything you touch will burn you. I am now qualified to blacksmith. But it's a tuna sandwich. It's gonna burn you. Oh, man. Being qualified to blacksmith and understanding heat retention, I'm sure, are two very, very different things. Mabel, welcome in. You finally finished the cat puzzle you were working on, and now you can move on to your periodic table puzzle. How fortuitous of you to have a science puzzle when we're nerding out on science. That was something I always wish, like, as an adult, I wish that I had kind of memorized the periodic table. I guess as a nerd adult, I now look back and kind of want to go back and work on memorizing it. Seems way more useful now than it did back in school. Definitely a uniform color. A little light, but I think it'll be fine. Not the worst stain job. The pre-stain definitely comes out, makes it all come out a bit lighter. Oh, this side. Let's see. I think this rag is toast. I should say shop towel is toast. Yeah, we were doing last month, 2 months ago, almost 2 months ago, a couple weeks ago, whatever. Time doesn't matter. We were at an escape room, and part of the escape room had a periodic table for part of the decoding, and I really felt like if I even knew where to look on the table for any given element, right? I feel like that's something I glossed over in any of my science classes. I like the color on this side a bit more. Maybe we'll try to use it if I can cover up this scratch. Yeah, they're pretty close anyway. I don't know, whatever. So Mabel, are you doing anything exciting this weekend? Or Jack, you too? Or Varian? Anybody doing anything fun and exciting? Outside of hanging out here, of course. It'll be the best part of your weekend. I think that'll be fine. Maybe we can close this up. Hoping to do 3 more wood chisels. Is that what you were working on this morning? Oh, very cool. You made a 1-inch chisel. That's sweet. I've been trying to get TSA to make me this Russian lathe tool, or Russian lathe knife. And he said he wants to. Doing a 3/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, and yeah, doing the whole set. How long are you making them? You're making them longer than you would normally get in like a standard set? Oh, excuse me. Standard, okay. I realized that one of the things that I did was I needed a mortising chisel, and I didn't have a mortising chisel, and I didn't realize that there was a difference between a mortising chisel and a regular chisel. And then mortising chisels are like really long. So then I'm like, damn, I kind of need a mortising chisel. And thicker, right? But I don't do much of that work, so I've yet to get a mortising chisel. I still have a set of. I got a set of Narex chisels unhandled for Christmas because I wanted to make my own handles, and I haven't done that yet. Hopefully, I get that done by next Christmas. Instead, I find myself painting letters. Doing mortising with bench chisels. Yeah, I was just doing a really. I was I was doing a mortise in this 3.5-inch mallet that I was making. So, like, I did a mortise all the way through this with Harbor Freight chisels. So that mortise clear through this solid piece of Paduke was done with nothing but bench chisels from Harbor Freight. It's very dusty. Oiled woods in the shop look like shit. Let me tell you. They just constantly collect dust. And you can't even like wipe it off. So all right. Hopefully this is the last round we do on this. Paul Sellers is definitely someone I've found myself turning to his teachings more and more the deeper into woodworking I get. Not only is he super knowledgeable, but he's practical with what he wants to do. You know, I enjoy the practicalities of everything. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the first mallet I made, and I made it for a builder's challenge or something. Didn't win, but a lot of learning. The handle has like There's the fabric inlay in it, like the denim inlay. And it's not a turned handle either, so like one of the, I think I did that before I turned fabric. I'd seen the video about turning. I think I'm gonna just clean the insides of these up by hand with a brush. This is gonna be the last white coat I try to put on these, and then the rest of these crevices are gonna be hand painted because the tops are definitely done. Was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'd seen the video on the fabric inlay technique. I was like, I wonder if that would work in a tool handle. And then that contest came up and decided to try it out. It does. You know, it's just like inlaying with wood, but you're using fabric instead. So. Yeah, I make the HTTP emails too. It's like this here. This is actually the first one I ever made. This is the milk jug, and this is actually Walmart grocery bags. Thank you. I have. It's funny you say that because I've been having nothing but trouble with the last 3 blanks that I've made. And 2 of them are supposed to go to Derek from Moco Made. Paul Sellers can't live too far away from you. His company's registered address is in one of the local towns. Oh. I mean, I'm sure he goes to like woodworking shows and events. Like finding him would probably not be that hard if that was your thing. Isn't that weird? You're subbed to his channel. Yeah, see? He's just a guy. People are just people. Like celebrities or like, you know, even well-known people. They're just people. Whoa. That starts coming out way too wet now. Must have had a dry piece flake off. Yeah, I mean, all I've done is watch some of his videos. You know, I appreciate his candor, his experience. I'm sure he's done way more than I know of. Setup is, let's see, in about, it starts as early as 15 hours from now. So 7:30 a.m. my time. The market itself opens at 10, and then you have to have your car in its spot. So by 9:15. So I think that the setup, again, I haven't been here. Amber has, Thorns has, or I probably was a couple years ago, but I don't remember exactly what the setup is. So we'll get there early enough to find our area, and but I think we're gonna be back, have our car kind of a couple feet away from us, which would actually be kind of nice. All right, enough airbrushing white. At this point, I'm just going to, I think, hand touch up the sides. Anything that still needs it, that is. And we will do another color, because other colors will cover better. Fucking white. Oh, we're not even. Yeah. The other thing I have to do tonight, so outside of making this sign, is I have to make little flyers that have our website on them. And Thorns wants me to put our schedule on it for the season as well, which seems like a good idea. I can be down with that. Alright, let's move these off to the side. Take a break from those. And I don't know, maybe I guess I should just do the hand painting now. Fine. Hand painting. Blah. Is this still on? Oh, shit. No, I just dropped an airbrush full of paint on the floor. I guess I'm done airbrushing white. Hey, kits. Weird, I didn't hear an alert go off. David, been in and out of your stream today? Hey, no problem, David. Appreciate you hanging out. And good afternoon, kits. Hopefully work went well. I heard that alert, yeah. I think I have them resetting after 6 hours. So that shouldn't have been an issue for kits, but welcome in, Polybius. Did the other one go off and I just didn't hear it? Is that what we're trying to say? It's totally possible. You really like the little follow cam? Thanks. Where's my Windex? Work was okay. Not much happening for once. That's good. Are you still super short-staffed? I would assume that hasn't changed in a short time. My Windex is inside. Dang it. Sorry, because I took it inside to actually clean this stuff better. Soul down 4 and your supervisor. Grr. I wish it was better for you. Alright, we're gonna have to try and get some of this paint up. I mean, I don't really care about paint on the concrete, but I don't really want to step in it and start tracking paint everywhere. Oh, okay. That is the primary issue here. No paint tracking. Whoa! Hey, big ass spider living in my trash can. What the fuck? Everything's trying to kill me right now. Cat! Cat person! Alright, hang on. Sorry, dude. Oh. I only get part of you. Dang. I don't know why you were in the trash can. What's wrong with you? No, it was... No. It did not look like the kind that I like to leave alive, so... Well, I guess we will skip white now, since we already just cleaned the brush out from white. And we'll go do some other colors. And, like, unplug the heat gun? Like, or maybe it's just radiating heat because I just used it. I don't know. It just feels weird for it to still be having heat come out, but I guess it makes sense. Coils and whatnot. You know, I really should have kept the T's and the H's and the S's separate on the sides that they belong to. All right. Yellow, I guess. So the base of the flower is going to have a lot of yellow. That is loud in my ear. Or we'll do, the leaves. There's fewer leaves to do. We're not going to be able to cut this one out the way we were in the last one, so hopefully we can determine which leaves go where. The leaves and the stem.
Right up in here, we'll make a happy little clip.
Raindrop spray painting, like, yeah, where you like cover it in water and then and these little things too we can paint green. That. I think this. No, not that. Really? Meh. I need to look at. Oh yeah, it is that. That. This. Cat is making me regret everything. All the choices I've ever made. Deadpool.
We make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Well, I'm glad you found what you were looking for. We have 2 greens here. We will start with a darker one. And we will need yellow, and we will need red. And I don't think we'll need, no, we won't, probably won't need. And then this is a metallic teal. I mean, if I made the mistake and allow you to spam them, that's my own fault. So, you do what makes you happy. Need that. But now we do need blue tape. I guess we could sand first. Sand, then blue tape. Don't want to overplay it. Well, welcome in, Cat. Hopefully your weekend's going well. Cutting off these very feathered edge corners. It's going well. We got sandbags made for tent weights. Did a little gutter cleaning this morning. And then I've been painting and lacquering and I don't know, general shop stuff. Just getting incidentals ready for tomorrow. Not doing fun stuff like making things to sell tomorrow. This is all setup stuff. But potentially equally, if not, more important. You just ate so much carrot soup, you're scared you might burst. Carrot soup. Well, don't. Doesn't sound like something you should be doing. Bursting. Sounds bad for the health. So attaching these so we can work them. This is why I buy blue tape in the 9-pack. See, that's when you start taking things seriously, when you're like, they sell 9 of these at once. That sounds like a good idea. Normal people are like, 1 roll, please. Makers be like, 9, you say? That'll last a month. Not bursting. See? Full useful help. Blue tape isn't much of a thing over here? Really? If you eat everything now, you save time eating for the rest of the week. So just masking tape, but the glues are different. Like the glue in the masking tape and the glue in the blue tape are just different. And the glue in the green too. Yeah, the adhesive on the blue functions like, to me the white tape is more of a permanent tape. Blue tape is meant to be removed, and the green tape has whatever they do their glue, it's like slightly thicker, so it creates a better seal for actually masking for paint. White tape, I don't know, white tape just doesn't have much purpose for whatever I want to do, even though it's technically called masking tape, unless the white masking tape is different over in the UK, and the white leaves a layer of EU. Yeah, there you go. But blue tape has been, I don't know where it's at for me. All right, I'll get some liquid out. All right. Try to get some of the water out that we used to clean. Why we're stuck under the chair. It's probably one thing that helped attribute to falling off my little holder. Yours read as blue tape is for longer term than the white. It's sold here as 14-day tape. Wow. Well, that is true. Like, it can come off later. I mean, all of the tape, if you're actually using it for painting, you should pull it all off when the paint is wet. So you shouldn't leave any of it on. But leaving it on longer, the blue is still just fine when it comes to its ability to be removed. This is pretty thick. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, barely. Yeah, it's pretty friggin' thick. We need to water it down in the pot a little. Cheap white tape does, good white tape doesn't. Wait, white tape tears off when you pull it off the roll too. Yeah. I mean, not all blue tape is equal either, right? If you get cheap blue tape, it's also crap. So. All right, let's try this. Oh, there is cheap blue tape. Absolutely. But don't buy it. Like, don't be fooled. Maybe I should hand paint these white sides now, so I can see. Landlocked Newfie, welcome in. Ugh. Stupid hand painting. You should go dumpster diving. The amount of masking tape you got for free. Welcome in, Newfie. Hopefully your weekend's going well. I'm gonna get ahead of this and just suck up the fact that I have to paint the sides by hand. No, there's still some prime on here, so I should only have to do the one coat. But dang, I do not like painting by hand. All right. But the last time I did, what, 2 or 3 coats by hand? The way this is covering with what was already primed with this, with the rattle can, it looks like I should be able to just do the one and then the other coats will be fine. So. Get off there. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Allison, to be expected. You just loaded a truck. All right, second piece done. You're having fun with a plasma cutter and a, man, you have a plasma cutter? Where are you and can we be friends? Plasma cutter. Oh no, there's, oh no. Mistakes have been made. Oh God. Oh, I've been dumping water and just my trash can just fell over and dumped a bunch of dirty paint water all over. Oh, mistakes have been made. Don't put water in your trash can. Oh. Why do I think these things are good? Is that good ideas? And they're obviously not. This is really why the shop needs to be cleaned up. I'm so cramped. All the lack of space. That's awesome, Landlock. You got the lathes and have had the welding put on hold for too long. Yeah, that's sweet. Oh, OBS bot decided not to pay attention anymore. Well, that's super cool. It's always fun to finally use a tool that you purchase. I think I bought a router lift so I could put a router in my table saw, and it's been sitting in the box. Yeah, if I don't paint these sides, the color's just not gonna take. This sucks. Sucks. I do wonder if using something other than MDF would make this, a little easier. I feel like it has to. Oh, and you got to use a sandblaster. Man, again, where do you live and can we be friends? I look forward to making everyone jealous with my shop in my retirement. Not saying you're retired, just that's my goal. Like, yep, I got all the tools. Big ass barn, lots of tools. Suck it up. I should have done it in ebony. Yeah. I came to the conclusion long ago. I don't know why I decided to try this, right? Other than the fact that, hey, everybody seems to make scroll side signs out of MDF. But I was like, I haven't worked, with stain in forever because I decided I hated it. And once I started working in hardwoods, and I was like, this is not that much more expensive. And oh my god, the time savings. And I just value my time so much more than my money at this point. The tool you should have bought the first day you got a welder was the sandblaster. Most people work on that as long as it looks good from a distance. Maybe that's my problem, right? Maybe I'm too particular to the details. But I also think that some people, like, this is what they like to do. They're like, yeah, I like painting. It's not me. So making things out of hardwood, not staining. The only reason I'm staining this is getting a sheet of hardwood like that and doing that glue up would take longer than cutting out some 1/2-inch plywood and putting this on top of it. So you're giving everything you wanted to try before you can't do it. Too much fun at what you do. Yeah, I mean, the reality is, like, I was looking at sandblasting cabinets. I'm like, that's not that much. I could definitely do that. The space is my issue right now. The money is less of the issue, is like less of an issue than my space. It's one of the same reasons I haven't, like, pulled the trigger on buying a CNC yet, is just because I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to put it. And I want to be able to dedicate the proper amount of time that it's going to take to actually get it up and running and be a part of any workflow. Where right now, I also don't feel like I have that. Keep trying to convince Thorns to be like, to get into CNCing, because then we could get the tool and she could learn to use it. And then I could learn at the same time. And we could figure it out together, but that hasn't panned out. Do feel like if this making thing is ever going to be a lucrative part of our lives, getting into some automated making is necessary. That's what the new garden workshop is for, right? Yeah. I wish we were building out. I don't have that kind of money. Two 30-foot long garages, yep, and have them both full. Exactly, man. That's the dream. That is the dream. Or a barn, right? Big ass barn. Fill it with tools. So I don't have to try and, have a real space for just materials. So it's not like, oh yeah, we have materials here and 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 here. Right? Every nook and cranny of like, I don't know, everything. Feel like I jam hardwoods and materials in every random corner of my shop because I have to. Otherwise, I don't get to have them. So I know it could be worse, but it could be better too. It hasn't really rained at all. I mean, it rained like. I'm just hoping it doesn't rain tomorrow. Still thinking and hoping it doesn't rain tomorrow. We have walls for our tent, but it'd be nice if we didn't have to use them on our first go. Yeah, all my tools are on wheels, and I should theoretically be able to get a car in here. Actually, before this last winter, so for 4 years, we were getting both of the cars in the garage. We have a bathroom vanity over there that remodel got put on hold for a minute. And that kind of made it to where it was like, well, I guess we're not getting both cars in the garage right now. And so then we didn't get either car in the garage for the winter this year. Not for lack of, just because I didn't care. I was like, yeah, whatever. It'll sit outside. I only drive 1 day a week now, so it's not like I should say I only go to the office 1 day a week. Right? So it wasn't like needing to make sure that the car was clear and, easy to pull out of the driveway early in the morning to get to work. No, we don't get negative 40. Hey, F-Blind, welcome in. Unless you're talking Celsius, and I don't know what we hit in Celsius. I did keep the heater running on low most of the winter. We actually didn't have a super cold winter this year either. So, there is a Celsius, there's a convert function if you are talking Celsius to Fahrenheit, and then I would actually know what you're talking about, but just exclamation convert for anybody, whoever wants to use that. We can convert our freedom units to better, more efficient systems. Oh, at negative 40 it's the same? Okay. Tidbit I did not know. I just rely on computers to give me answers. But no, it did not. I think the coldest I got was maybe negative 10 this last winter. I should just do the hand painting on the letters while I'm doing this, shouldn't I? To get all the crevices of the letters and just get it out of the way. Although I'm going to have to do this on the little rose pieces too. Oh dear. This is not fun making for me. I believe I've said that. I should make Thorns do this. She said she would paint it. She says stuff, and then when I like call her on it later, she's like, "What? I didn't say that." Women are the worst. It's birds outside. Nice soothing bird music. No, like way off camera. You guys can't see a dang thing I was doing. You know, because this is so interesting. But still, you're here. You should be able to view the painting of white things. More white. Yeah, you're exactly. That's usually the way I do this, but then you have requirements for something you actually want to succeed, like having a successful market presence, and then You need to do silly things like make sure your market looks good and appealing. And that's where, I don't know, I don't mind making the sign, but I mind painting the sign. But unfortunately, painting the sign is part of making the sign. So I guess part of me minds making the sign, but I enjoyed cutting it. You know, did 3 hours of freaking scroll saw work to cut all these pieces out. I also don't mind gluing it together. But this hand painting, bleh. And we started at 3:37. We're almost 2 hours in now to painting on the whole. Of course, taking a little longer as expected. Hey, Muffin. So I did. Yes. We are airbrushing them, but the sides, since it's MDF, the sides have been a challenge on some of these pieces. And I primed them with a rattle can, which went way faster. But again, priming on the sides of these pieces was only about halfway, even though I did 2 coats of primer. So the only way to really, and these letters, these white letters that I'm doing right now, I've already airbrushed about 6 coats on, maybe slightly fewer, but the sides were just not getting there based on the available angles. So here we are. We're just going through and touching up these white letters on the sides. Let's see, you were approached by an art fair last night via Instagram to be a vending artist. Gonna check out their June fair before committing to their July fair. That's super cool. A vending artist. Neat. You put a Kenmore foot control on a plug to use your scroll saw. You've only used it twice so far. Yeah, I have a foot control on mine. At least it's an activated switch. I don't know if yours has like the speed control in the foot, like the sewing machine one. I thought I read somewhere that that wasn't great for the scroll saw motors because they weren't designed to have like the, is that work with like lower voltage to the motor or something? To be able to get the speed control via the foot. You've never done markets before. Exactly, Muffin, right? And that's where it's like doing this white. It's just like, you know, I can see all the little MDF that didn't get painted well underneath. But yeah, if I like layer on colors, not only are you doing multiple layers, right? But then any inconsistencies, you're just like, yep, there's some yellow, there's some red. It's fine. But when it's just white, ugh. I mean, I guess it's soothing. I just, the deadline. I probably mind it less than I'm actually saying I mind it. That's fair. A Penn State scroll saw? I didn't even know Penn State made a scroll saw. Well, Allison, I mean, I think that, I don't know. I can't say that anybody should do a market, right? I think you don't have to, but if you want to, absolutely. I actually enjoyed I really enjoyed our first market, which is why I wanted to continue to do it. So it's like a good reason to get out of the house. And I don't know. I have challenges in connecting with people, and so maybe this will help me connect with others as well. You built a concealment cabinet and it was white stained. White part you're still not happy with. Yeah. It's build up. It's especially with the lighter colors, you just gotta keep building up layer and layer and layer. And white pigments, just needs so much white to cover up. And it's fine when it's just like a flat surface, like, I can airbrush that all day. It's the sides of these letters, the insides of them. And I didn't even do like crazy sanding on these to break the edges. I left everything pretty damn crisp. I think that'll be good enough. And I'm even only going for a good enough. Like, I'm not even trying to be like, no, I can see a little bit. No, I just... Like, I understand when good enough is good enough. Yes, if you have to get 3 inches from my sign, but, if you're 10 inches from my sign, I'd like it to look decent. If you have to get, like, way up close to see any issues, then I'm okay. A one-day market, they provide the tent and tables. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, if it's just time and you think that there's a benefit to it, if they're not like reaching out to you and being like, hey, that's a $200 market we would really like you to be a part of, then I would just jump in. But if there's a decent financial outlay, definitely go check it out first. Like, there was one market we wanted to go to and we did want to get in and we didn't, but it was like $75 an event. And I was like, yeah, it was a $75 and an hour drive. I was like, we really need to know what that market looks like first. Fortunately, it would have been good, but we did not get in this year. Maybe next year. I'm like painting a lot up here, so I should probably move the camera, huh? But like this farmer's market, like it's local. It's like 10 minutes away. We've been there years ago and it was decent, and it's like $30 a day. I was like, I don't need to go check out anything. Let's do that. 10 minutes, $30, let's go. So. Oh, you were on layer 6 and it's like, yeah, that's white, man. I mean, that's where like priming, right, and using high quality paint, like when you're doing just straight white, that's another problem here, right? These paints are just like standard acrylic craft paints, and this white pigment's not the best. But also airbrushing is weird because if you have too much pigment, then it clogs the nozzle. Oh, I hear the dove. Downtown Orlando and 150. Yeah, you definitely need to check that out. I mean, what's that scene look like, right? Like, what are you expecting to take? And then is it just like, you know, is all of your stuff in the hundreds of dollars at that point or plus? You know, are they expecting you or thinking that you're going to be selling prints of your work? Like, do other people sell prints? I guess I don't know what an art specific market looks like outside of seeing some at conventions. Right, but at conventions I feel like it's way different because they're basically just selling prints. They do have some original pieces there, but the majority of their sales are prints. Penn State Industries on the side, 15-inch scroll saw. Huh. That's cool. Yeah, Muffin, there you go. And that's, you know, that's what I was saying earlier on wondering if I had done this with, I don't know, plywood or something versus MDF or any solid wood versus MDF. Like, you know, I hate staining stuff and I just work with hardwood now generally because I'm like, it takes so much time to work with the stain and then hope that it's right. And if you do have to sand something, you end up taking stain off and it's such a pain in the ass. You know, here I'm definitely converting time into whatever this is going to be. You range from 150 to 4 grand. Yeah, I mean, check it out, right? See what type of traffic they get. I don't know. I just don't know. And I guess, you know, maybe that's the idea either. Like, if you're not sure what to expect either. It's definitely a higher risk than my $30 outlay, right? But definitely a higher reward. You know, you sell one of your high-end pieces, you have a great day. You sell one of your small pieces, you're at a break-even day, which you could think of as a bad day. But for me, like, the odds of me having a good day are pretty high. The odds of me having a great day and selling thousands of dollars of product is next to zero. There's a non-zero chance, but it's pretty close to zero. I'd have to sell, what, 20 pens to get to 1,000? Poplar? Yeah, maybe poplar would have been better. But then trying to cover the green with the white can be an issue. But maybe it wouldn't have soaked up so much of the primer or the paint to begin with. So that was my consideration. Like, yeah, I'm still gonna have to paint it and still have to go through some of this process, but maybe it's better. Once this stuff is primed, right? Once the paint actually sits on the surface, it's fine. It's just getting it primed seems to take longer than I want to put the time in for. And then I'm like wondering, so there are people who make these signs for others. I'm like, what do you charge for this then? Like, I'm gonna easily be 12 hours into this sign. Like, what do I charge somebody for 12 hours of work? You know, I know I can't charge them what I make in my day job, but an exceptionally good day for you is 300 to 400. Yeah, see, that's what our last day was. Our first market. Our first market, I think we made about 260 in sales, right? The market itself cost $40, and I had to give away an item worth at least 10. I gave away a bottle opener. So, you know, if you think of the costs, if I had sold the item, but then that 260 is just, that's before even thinking of the kit cost and the product costs and everything. Right, and then we can also think of, there were 3 people working that booth. In a sense, it was, you know, myself, Thorns, and my son. Now, my son went off and looked at other stuff, but he was there. You know, he helped set up and whatnot. You know, these markets very quickly become like, how much am I making? The guy who sells pork pies is telling, yeah, oh, don't tell me. All the food vendors, I'm sure, like, they just print money at events like that. Like, if you get to be the lone, like, one of the few concessions people at a large event, ugh. Yeah, see? Yeah, I understand, Muffin, and that's where I'm like, I'm not looking to make signs for people, but I don't know. I like to be prepared if somebody ever is like, hey, would you do this for me? And then it's like, what do I quote you? F. I forgot to plug in this camera. It just beeped at me. There we go. For an outlay of about $100 and working on a 50% gross. Oh my god, he just sells pies somebody else makes. Puke. This is what I mean. Making money is not about skill. It's about making money. Making money is about making money. 1.5K minimum. All right, if I charge, I mean, full honesty here, if I charge 1,500 for 12 hours of work, I would be making more than I make in my day job. That would be a good day for me. That would be a good payday for me. I mean, $100 an hour is like a $200,000 a year job. So. You know, I was thinking a few hundred. You know, I'm trying to think of like what would get me 12 hours of work and what would I want to make for 12 hours doing something that, you know, frankly is, as much as I'm complaining about hand painting this, right, it's still like it's fine. We're sitting here, we're talking. I'm not like miserable doing this. You know, it's not like I'm cold calling people for collections or something to make $20 an hour, right? If I was able to make $20 an hour crafting in my free time, which I'm gonna do anyway, yeah, seems fine. 500 minimum.